Here's this grandma. She has 3 grandkids with her, an older sister, a 7-year-old, and a 3-year-old boy. And as they're hiking, the dog that they had with them went down onto a little ledge. Mm-hmm. And the 3-year-old's like, oh, let me get the dog. And he went to go get the dog and fell 100 feet. It was so scary.
Yeah, but the 7-year-old brother did not hesitate. He went after him. Like, he dove down to save his little brother. Did they get hurt? They did get hurt, but they're recovering now. The 7-year-old wasn't nearly as badly injured.
No, and it was kind of really heroic because he didn't go down the same path that his little 3-year-old brother did. He kind of slid down some rocks, got a little parkour going on, and went down to the river where his brother was and was able to hold his head up because he was in a river at that point.
Right, and he needed to keep his head elevated. And it's awesome that he knew to do those types of things.
At 7 years old?
Right.
I mean, wow, hello. And then 16 minutes later, the rescuers were there. It was quick.
Oh, I'm sure.
How quick they got there.
Grandma got on 911. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And got those first responders there. So they were, of course, taken to the hospital. The family went. And now there's a GoFundMe page because little Riley, he's the 3-year-old, was still in the hospital. I'm not sure that he's out of the hospital, but he is recovering now because this just happened like about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, very recent on that hike.
So the GoFundMe is doing really well, trying to help offset some of those hospital bills. If you love gummy bears, and I do, Haribo is, I think, the original company that came up with the gummy bears.
Haribo?
Haribo. So they're like the gold bears. It's the little gold package. That's the original, the OG for the gummy bears.
I'm colorblind, so I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I just know the things are just horrible.
You don't like gummy bears?
No, I don't like the texture. I don't like what they do to my teeth.
I love some gummy bears.
I don't like jelly beans either, so that will tell you a lot.
I had me some jelly beans last night. I like jelly beans. Okay. Haribo gummy bears, they teamed up, and you can now get some new kicks that look like your gummy bears. Here's where I think my love ends. They teamed up with the Vans, which I like Vans, don't get me wrong. But the colors are kind of weird, and they're kind of shiny, which is odd. But, so you can wear your kicks that look like gummy bears. And
your
they have
shoes.
Yeah.
So Haribo is a gummy bear company?
Yes.
Who they team up with?
Vans.
Okay,
I
missed that.
Yeah. And so there's all kinds of different, like for kids, they have the slip-ons and they're a little more like have the gummy bears all over them.
So they're the color of gummy bears?
Yeah, some of them are. Some of are red. There's a pair that are cute from the back. And I think it's an adult version, but it has like 4 or 5 gummy bears pictures across the back of the shoe. That's cute. But when you look at the top, the front of the shoe, it almost has what looks like a gummy bear under plastic. That's where you lose me. It's not that cute at all to me. But I mean, if you love gummy bears, and they're very colorful.
So I'm thinking you wouldn't wear these things.
There's a pair that are like, I think they're kind of pinkish. They're cute. They're cute.
Okay, so Liz would wear one of those.
I would wear the tamer of the gummy bear
The pink
shoe.
ones.
Yeah, the pink ones. It doesn't have a gummy bear on it as far as I know. And the kids ones, though, super cute. I think they missed an opportunity, though. I think they should have put the light up part in the kids ones with the gummy bears, and like the gummy bears light up every time they take a step.
Well, why not have a little secret compartment that have gummy bears in it? So
Look
when
at
they
you!
take a step, a gummy bear drawer will open up, and there it is.
Oh, my.
Huh?
You may have stumbled upon something.
I don't know, but then you have to rethink that and go, well, where would the gummy bears be stored? And that would be underneath the big toe. That could smell and just really be horrible.
Toe jam.
Yeah. You will not believe what this 1-year-old did at the LA Zoo. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio with Mom, has a sippy cup, dropped the sippy cup right by the orangutan exhibit.
Enclosure, yeah.
Enclosure. And so it drops like in water. It's like a pool of water right before the fence where the orangutans are. And so there's one that's like, ooh, look at that. Now, here's how smart he is.
Right?
Really smart. You know how you drop something in the pool and you can barely get to it, and you take your hand and you move the water towards you.
You scoop it toward you.
And the current brings the object to you, whatever you dropped. This is what this orangutan did.
Yeah.
He reached his hand through the fence, and he had something like a log or something, like a bush. I don't know what it was.
It's almost like paper, but I'm having a hard time trying to figure out where in the world he would have got. It looks like packing paper.
It kind of does, but I think it was from, a plant or something
Maybe
like
so.
that.
You're
it could
right.
be. So he takes that and he tries to get the sippy cup with it, and then he couldn't, so he moved the water with it until the current brought the sippy cup to him. Mm-hmm. And then he grabbed it and drank it.
He's like, let me check this out. My favorite part of this is he's got a friend there for emotional support.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do
Right?
it.
His friend is definitely like, Ralph, just bring it a little closer. You almost, man, get a little farther. You got it.
It's crazy to watch, but man, it tells you how smart they are.
It really does, because it took that whole thought to plan that out, that, okay, I got to find something to bring this a little closer to me, because my arms, as long as they are not going to reach whatever that is. He didn't know what it was. But the thing about it is, he knew to put that bottle or that sippy cup in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
He knew there was something in there that he wanted to investigate, but I bet he was sadly surprised.
Yeah, wait till you see this. We're going to post this on His Radio TV and our YouTube channel, and you'll see exactly what this orangutan does.
Yeah, and how smart he is.
There's some AI apps that are available on iPhone, and here's one thing that Apple says they want to do is have an age restriction and an age requirement for allowing those apps to be on students or teenagers' phones.
Thankfully, that they're getting ahead of it. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought that they needed an age requirement until I see what Apple says. And there's some more mature information there that you just don't want, anybody, really anybody, to be a part of.
Yeah, and really inappropriate stuff.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Apple is making sure, hey, just know there's an age requirement. It's got to be 17 plus
I
for
like
a
that.
lot of these AI apps that they're
Right.
talking about.
Yeah, and I like that because I haven't heard an uproar about it, and I'm not that familiar at all with this kind of technology, but I'm glad that Apple is kind of taking a step before parents are like, oh my goodness,
What just happened?
Right, what does my kid have hold of? And so I will say thanks to Apple for that.
Yeah, we were doing some study at church with students. And when it comes to eyes seeing things they're not supposed to, and you know what I'm talking about, 9 years old now, which is shocking. And a lot of it has to do with the access of the phones.
Well, absolutely. You've got access to just about anything.
The planet's in your fingertips now.
Oh, right.
Right?
And honestly, you can even search something fairly innocent and end up somewhere you don't want your kids to be. And so, I'm just glad that we're kind of getting ahead of this one.
And that's why I'm grateful that at least I'll talk about my son's phone. There's a lot of restrictions that I have on it.
Oh, sure.
So that kind of stuff it is not as easily accessible.
Yeah. I took a lot of heat when my kids were younger because I would spot check texts and just go through their phone randomly. It wasn't like, okay, at Thursday at 7:00, I'm going through your phone. It was, hey, hand me your phone. That kind of thing. Because I just felt like I needed to have my eyes on what their eyes are
Well,
on.
parents have permission to do that.
Yeah. Privacy?
Definitely have permission to do that. Your phone, your money, your plan, your kid.
Yeah. My motto was just privacy, not on my watch.
This little boy really likes the waiter, so he did something really kind for him. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, His Radio.
Yeah. So what this little kid, he went to this restaurant a lot with his family and the waiter, and he just struck up a conversation, got to know each other, and they found out a little bit more about Devontae and his family. They had been living in a house that was kind of overtaken by black mold and things like this, and didn't have a car, did not have a vehicle to get back and forth, whether it was to school or to work or wherever they needed to go. And one of the family members had been really ill. So anyway, the family goes back and the kid has the idea that he wants to do something good for his friend. So they started a GoFundMe page.
Good for him.
Right?
And how well did it do?
It, at first, when I first looked at it, was like $3,000-$4,000, right? Then it grows. It's over $100,000.
Get out.
Right now. Yeah, in fact, between yesterday afternoon, it was $100,000. This morning, first thing, it was $103,000, almost $104,000.
So it keeps growing.
It just keeps growing.
Nice.
And so maybe, possibly, because it's at that point, the family can move, get into a place that, does not have that black mold.
Boy, yeah, get out of there.
Right?
And a nice car on top of it.
A nice
right?
car, and maybe some money left over for those medical bills.
Okay, I have to ask Scott, what is this news about face masks right now that you sleep with?
Well, apparently they're saying there's a new sleep journal that says it improves cognitive function the next day if you wear a mask to sleep the night before.
Because it blocks all the light out, right?
I totally get that. I have one that I use. It kind of looks like Breakfast at Tiffany's. It has the eyelashes on it and all this stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I don't doubt that. I do not doubt that she would have a sleep mask with eyelashes.
Well, I don't use it all the time, but when I know I need to block out all that light, absolutely putting that thing on my face.
Yeah, and I don't know about Scott, but I can't sleep with a face mask. It irritates me. I've tried, and it's just like, and I got to throw the thing off my face.
Okay, Charla texted, and she has information for you. She said she cannot stand it, just like you. Anything on her face,
I'm
it's
with
a
you,
problem.
Charla.
She said, but she found a pack on Amazon that is really lightweight, and it's really soft. She doesn't even notice it. She's going to send us the link in a little bit so we can check it out.
Thank you.
I think we have I almost said a taste test, a face test.
A face
later in the week.
test. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Carla at 800-447-7234. What are you thinking here, Carla?
I have to wear one all the time at night because I'm light sensitive. And if anybody's light sensitive, get the one that adjusts in the back that has the extra cushion to it. You can keep that thing on all night, and they're great to go to sleep with.
Carol, how in the world did you get used to that thing? Because I just can't get used to it. It's so irritating.
It's not. If you get the thin ones, they're going to be irritating because they're not made out of good plushy material. But you get the ones that are thicker and get the ones you can adjust in the back because maybe it was too tight, maybe.
My wife got me like 3 different ones in the past decade, and every one of them I don't want this thing on.
Really?
I can't sleep with it. It's crazy.
Well, some people are like that because there for a while I was covering my head with a pillow and all of a sudden I was like, never mind. I got a mask and I sleep so much better. It's